Oh my god.
What?
Billy Joel dead at 73.
What?
You're
That's
wrong.
not true.
You're joking. Okay.
Don't say that's true.
Oh my god, that's like young.
Wait, that's so bad.
We're not kidding. We're joking.
We're joking.
We're joking.
That's not fun. That's not fun. That's
Why'd you cut him off, huh? Why'd you cut him off? How do you know when a TikTok trend has overstayed its welcome, has jumped the shark, is no longer when it gets featured in the mainstream news?
Actions are funny, others think it's a cruel joke. I personally think this is really funny, guys.
I think it shows a generational divide because Barrett doesn't think it's funny at all.
That could be the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, come on, TikTok's a shock.
I don't like it at all. No, we shouldn't be running that. I don't like it. Get it off. Get it off now. I don't get that at all.
No,
that
it's
is
not.
so not
It really
funny.
isn't funny.
It's crazy.
And of course, because this is the Australian news, it's like, Struth, mate, did you catch this TikTok trend, brother? Oh, fair dinkum, mate, it caught me by surprise. I almost forgot to chuck me shrimp on the barbie. Well, it's official. After featuring on the mainstream news, the celebrity death prank TikTok trend is now dead. So in the aftermath, let's do a post-mortem, because I've got a question. In what world is this funny? No, really, because look, I'm not against pranks. A good prank can be funny, but this is not a good prank. A good prank is funny because of one of two reasons. A, the actual idea or execution of the prank is inherently funny or clever, or B, the context behind the prank is what makes it funny. So let's explore both of these and compare them to the celebrity death prank. First, the prank is inherently funny or clever. Here's a simple example where this is the case. The Just for Laughs Gags TV show. These are simple yet clever pranks. There's setup, clever execution, you get the payoff, done and dusted. This show has been running for almost 20 years with various pranks throughout that time, and yet they never feel cheap or without some level of creativity. Compare this to the celebrity death pranks on TikTok. Hey mom, Tom Hanks is dead. And that's it. It's not clever, there's no setup, and the problem is, it's not inherently funny on its own. Someone you don't know being upset in a 10-second video for some random, arbitrary reason is not funny. Which leads us to the second reason pranks can sometimes be funny. The context behind the pranks is what makes them funny. Here's a simple example where context is what makes it funny. In The Office, Jim constantly pranks Dwight at various times. Some of these pranks are not necessarily clever, but the context of who these characters are makes them funny. Dwight as a character is uptight, takes himself far too seriously, and almost always completely falls for the prank. Jim pranks Dwight because he knows that this is the case, and because over time we know and like these characters, especially if you rewatch the show over and over again, as we all do, they provide context to a prank, which sometimes is funny anyway, but often the context makes the prank even funnier. Now, celebrity death pranks on TikTok? Unless you follow
Abby Krista
and care about
Kate Ciamro,
chuck me shrimp on the barbie. We don't know these people. You as their son or daughter may find this funny because you know your mum and you know how much they love said celebrity. To us, we're just watching an old person get very emotional over an indiscriminate piece of false news. Kinda weird, my guy. So hopefully now that this thing has been on the mainstream news, it'll die off soon.
I do think unsettling and weird are requirements for a good prank. Maybe not.